Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kate if you're new. Pardon the mess behind me. So my fiance and I bought a house, and this is what will eventually be our new library. But for now, while most of the books are on shelves, as you can see, there are a lot of pictures that need to go up on walls. There's a lot of work that still needs to get done before this room is finished. Which also means that I don't fully know what my filming setup is going to be in here yet. What's the best angle, what's going to have the best background, etc. It's all a work in progress. But while we were here, I figured I would do a little bit of a fall TBR. I try to do at least one video for the fall seasons. In previous years, I've done like fall reading recommendations of books that I've previously read. But I don't really have enough fall books that I haven't already talked about on this channel in order to do a recommendations list. So instead, I'm going to talk about the books that I'm going to be reading this fall season. I'm filming this in about mid-September, so starting really now and continuing through November into it a bit, but including Halloween and all spooky things. So I have quite a few books here that I can already tell is going to be too many, but this is going to be another one of those where I pick more than I think I can actually read so that I just have a selection that I can then pick from and kind of mood read based off of that list. So that's what we're going with. So of the options, one of the first ones that I have is The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. This is one of the most like purely horror on this list because I don't read a lot of horror, but I've been following this author. She also goes by the name Ursula Vernon. For quite some time, I've read her like non-horror webcomics, and I think I've read maybe a couple of her short stories as well, but I've never tried a full novel. So it has something to do with this girl is cleaning out the house of her grandfather who was like a hoarder, and I'm guessing she stumbles upon some stuff that should have been left alone. And I don't know if it's like ghosts or demons or what kind of spooky nonsense is going on, but I do have a sense that this one will be rather scary. I have heard that this one is rather scary. So The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher is the first one. The next one that I definitely want to get to is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This one I meant to be a fall book last year, but I ordered it in, I don't remember if it was September or October, but it was in fall and it didn't arrive until like Christmas because it was deep COVID, and so shipping was super delayed. And anyway, I didn't get it until Christmas, at which point I didn't feel like it was the right season for this book. So now it is time. It is time for Cemetery Boys. In case you don't know, this one's fairly popular on BookTube, I think, but this one is about a trans boy who is trying to prove that he is a real brujo and summons a ghost, but it's like the wrong person, someone he didn't mean to send, which I believe is this person, and it's a male-male romance by a queer author. Yes, very excited to finally be getting into this book that I have been hearing about and wanting to get into for a very long time. Also, the author is like a friend of a friend, and so I really need to read it because you gotta support your friend's friends. Ugh. While in the unboxing process, I think a scissor or a knife just lightly scraped across the front cover, and now there's a scratch in it, and that annoys me, but I guess it's not the end of the world. The next one is a little bit odd in terms of how to explain that it feels like a fall book to me, but it is Each of Us a Desert by Mark Ashiro. I, again, don't know if I'll get to this one. The first two, The Twisted Ones and Cemetery Boys, I definitely want to get to. Basically, everything else is a maybe. But Each of Us a Desert, I think just magical realism feels like a fall thing to me, where it's that sort of in-between place between like full fantasy and contemporary fiction. Anything that's like magical realism-esque, I feel like sort of belongs in the fall season because it feels like a liminal space. Even though this one takes place in a desert, so you would think maybe summer would be more appropriate, but I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot about this one, but I have another book that they have written, but I haven't read it yet. It's Anger is a Gift. But so I figured I might start with this one in this fall magical season. Next on here is one that again is a maybe, but it is pretty short and it is a young adult. It is My Sister Rosa by Justine Larbalister. So this is about a boy, Ozzy, who believes that his younger sister is a budding psychopath. Their parents are away a lot, and so he is one of the few people that she actually confides in, and so he knows a lot more about her behavior than like really anyone else does. And he sees like how manipulative she's becoming and you know, things like that. So dark thriller, but it's still pretty short and it is young adult. So I think I can get through this one pretty quickly. And I've really liked other things by Justine Larbalister, so I've been wanting to check this one off of my list for a while. Next up is a reread. This is one that I do really want to get to. It is The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. This is one that can be read later. It's more of a November book because the titular race of the Scorpio Races takes place on November 1st. This is, I think, my favorite book by Maggie Stiefvater, more so than The Raven Boys, even though I do love The Raven Boys. It's so moody and atmospheric, and it's about this island called Thisbe that has, once a year, these like murderous carnivorous water horses come out of the ocean. So sort of similar to Kelpie mythology, not quite. And then people, because people are people, they catch them, and then on the 1st of November, they ride them in this race on the beach, and it is often quite deadly. Many people die on these races. But there's like a cash prize, and so the book is told in dual perspective between a girl named Kate and a boy whose name I can't remember right now. And there are two contestants in the race, and so you get their background of why they are, you know, participating in this extremely dangerous race, and you learn a lot about this small island community that I like fell in love with. I kind of love the idea of living on an island. My partner and I did actually just move to a much more rural area. We moved out of a city into a small, not actually a town up in like the foothills. So anyway, I really like this kind of small town vibes. So I really, really love this book. And I read it once a few years ago, and so I've been really wanting to reread it. Okay, so I have a couple more that might not get to. One of them could be more of a winter book anyway, but I did grab a like adult classic book just in case I get tired of reading a bunch of YA, because a lot of those picks were YA. I grabbed The House of Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is more of a gothic tale, and it is like a classic that I have had on my shelf for a really long time, wanted to been getting to. So do I know if I'll get to this one? No, this is really just gonna be if I've read 2 young adult books in a row and I need something like that's a break from that, I might go for this one. Otherwise, it will continue to sit on my shelf until such a time as I feel like getting to it. And the final book that maybe is gonna be a fall book, might be more of a winter book, is For the Wolf by Hannah Witton. I have an advanced reader copy of this, so it doesn't really have like a full description of what it's about, but it involves like sacrificing younger daughters to the wolf, trying to bring kings back. But it's obviously based in Red Riding Hood, and I don't know how closely it follows Red Riding Hood, if it's more just kind of inspired aesthetically by it. We shall see. But Maddie from The Book Pusher really, really liked this book. So I've heard some mixed things about it, but I've also heard some people whose recommendations that I trust have said that I would really like this, including the friend that gave me this copy. She like shoved it into my hands and told me that I needed to read it. So I want to have this pretty high on my TBR, but you know, it seems very snowy, so it might be more winter vibes. We'll see. That is going to be everything that's on my fall TBR. So all of the books that I'm going to be trying to read in this fall season, or at least sort of the list of books that I will be picking from when I'm picking what to read in this next fall season. I found a job, but it is a maternity leave, like taking over for a maternity leave, and it doesn't start till like the last week of October. So I still have some time to try to set up this library to get some more reading done. I'm hoping to have some like wrap-ups of what I've read in the year because I haven't really had time to make those kinds of videos. Maybe an update on how my like year-long goal of finishing fantasy series is going. So I'm gonna try to put up a few more videos on this channel before work starts, and then possibly even when work starts, maybe I can figure out a schedule to actually get videos up now that I am essentially done with grad school, which is weird. Anyway, yeah, so that's gonna be it for my fall TBR. Let me know what you're planning on reading for this spooky fall season down in the comments, or just tell me what you've been reading and enjoying lately. Either way, I will hopefully see you all very soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say, price of my war's not a price that they're willing to pay. Insane. French, now I'm fighting with France and with Spain. So blue. An arrangement when you went away were mine to subdue. For you. What comes next? Read. Do you know how hard it is to lead your own? Awesome! Wow! Do you have a clue what happens now? Oceans rise, empires fall. I taught her when it's all your call. Lone east the sea. Your people say they hate you. Don't come crawling back to me. La da 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 ya da 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 ya da. You're on your own. Nice little vocal warm-up. Oh, god damn it, the battery's about to die. All right, I'll record until it does.